Alright, I wanted to make a video to try to make things right even more. I want to apologize to my fellow inmate. I don't know if he's still there. He may still be there. There was a small possibility he would get out. So I don't know if he's there, but I want to apologize for slandering him in videos. Brandon Rex Brown is his name. I made a mistake by doing that, and God showed me I made a mistake, and clearly he led every Bible study every night almost, you know what I mean? He helped me, okay. So I don't know how much truth. He said there wasn't, they wrote lies about him in the paper. I understand that because they wrote lies about me in the paper. You know what I mean? So I have an insight. What they did to me, we were both in there talking about it. So that's when I'm like, maybe what they said about him isn't fully true. As what they said about me isn't fully true. I'm like, a friend told me what they wrote about me. I'm like, that's not completely right. So the same thing with Brandon. I think they did the same thing. You know what I mean? So I wrote a good character letter for his lawyer. You know what I mean? Because he does have a good character. You know what I mean? He was the most humble guy in the whole place. You know what I mean? I'm not joking. So I want to apologize to all the people. Make things right for slandering him in my videos. I think I got all of them. I delete them. I rarely delete videos, as you guys know. Even the videos that are going to convict me and send me to 2 years in jail, I'm not even deleting those. You know what I'm saying? I rarely delete videos. But this time I did. I'm like, I made a mistake. I made a mistake. You know what I mean? So, the videos that'll crucify me to jail, I'm like, I don't care. That's the truth. People saw it. It's already too late, It is what it is. I meant what I said in the, at the time. You know what I mean? They were harassing me, after shooting a kid, and I was just like defending myself. So it's documented in that way. So luckily, I have the best public defender in the United States. Luckily, I'm like, he has and he's been doing good against the good old boys. He's been doing great, despite them committing me. No matter what my public defender said, he's been doing great. You know what I mean? I might make a video about, my new public defender. My old public defender was trying to just defend the cops and, sweep it under the rug for the good old boys. This public defender is like standing strong. That's the only reason I'm free right now. The prayers of the inmates, the one I slandered too, prayed for me. The prayers, and he comforted me while I was crying. Legitimately. The first time really crying for everyone to see. I couldn't hide it anymore. That God abandoned me to a dungeon. The enemy beat me. I'm like, the enemy's stronger than God. They beat me. They put me in my place. They beat me. You know what I mean? They broke me a bit. They broke me. After week 11, they started to break me. Real tears, real crying. Brandon was there to comfort me. You know what I mean? That's why I'm making this video, to make it right. I made a mistake, and I'm sorry. Brandon, if you're out, I'm sorry, my friend. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. They did us dirty. They did us dirty. Brandon taught me how to play the game Magic, card game. He's a businessman in the mall. He taught me. I'm like, and this is what I said in maximum security jail before they let me go. night before they let me go. I'm like, did you ever think it would come to this? You know what I mean? When we were in the mall and you taught me how to play cards, did you ever think it would come to this, that we would both sitting in maximum security jail together? And he's like, no, I never thought this. And I'm like, so it's heavy stuff. It's heavy. That's the kind of wickedness we're dealing with in the city that we've known all this time. At least I did. A lot of people got caught off by surprise in the jail. Like, before I didn't think the police were dirty. Before I didn't think so, but now I do. You know what I mean? But for me, I've been watching them for a long time. I knew about the dirty cops for a long time. I'm very observant. And that's what another inmate told me. He's like, you're very observant, you know what I mean? Nothing gets by you. No, not much, you know what I mean? You may deceive me for a while, you know what I mean? But eventually the truth comes to the front. Like, okay, you're my enemy. I see the agenda, you know what I mean? At first, I can see, like, I may get deceived at first. Like, oh, they might be here to help me for real. But then I see their true colors in a courtroom, that they're against me, basically. You know what I'm saying? So that's when the truth comes out in the courtroom. Yeah, but I already knew the agenda against me. No matter, oh, we're concerned. We're here to help this guy. I'm like, no, you're not. We'll see in the courtroom. Yeah, true colors come out in the courtroom. But I already knew that. I think every courtroom except for a couple have been a kangaroo court against me. 2 out of like 8 hearings. 2 out of like 8 hearings have been kangaroo court. Didn't matter what I said or did. You know, they had their mind made up. Kangaroo court. Keep them locked up. So, it's bad here. You know what I mean? A friend said, like, one of the inmates I called, he said, like, there's a way to vote out judges. I'm like, really? They're part of the vote for the people to remove judges? I didn't know that. I thought the judges were untouchable, like the police. I'm like, I want to vote out the police. Different positions of leadership of the police, I wish we could vote them out. You know? You know? Which I hope the new mayor fires a lot of police in the leadership. I hope so. That's my hope. I'm like, hopefully they do what they say in the paper. Dismantle the good old boys. And the best way is to remove the leadership, you know, of the people that think they're untouchable. You know what I'm saying? And I think the mayor has that power. I think so, from what I've read in different articles. Sometimes, depends. Sometimes the mayor does have the power to fire, like, the top positions of police, like the police chief and stuff. He has that power, I think. I'm not sure. They'll be gunning for me now. They'll be gunning for me now. You know, they're always gunning for me. You know what I'm saying? Me and the Vipers. I call them the Vipers now. They just snatch you up, kidnap you, transport you to a locked facility that no one knows you're there. You know, they're the Vipers. I still got to watch out. You know, I'm a hated man to the Vipers. You know, some people call them the Blue Stripe Gang. You know, they're dangerous. They're dangerous. I fear the handcuffs more than their guns now. I fear the handcuffs. That's what I fear. I'm like, yeah, put me in irons. Put me in irons. Like Captain Jack Sparrow says in Pirates of the Caribbean, put me in irons. That's what I say. Just, yeah, put me in irons. That's I'm used to it. You know, as a maximum security. They put me in irons like almost every other day. That, you know, walk into this place, put them in irons. Walk them to this place, put them in irons. Yeah. I'm like, guys, I'm not trying to run away or do anything. I'm not playing ball. I want the jury trial. That's what I want. There's no fight for me. you know? Bring it before the people. That's what I want. I'm not going to fight this. You kidding me? Even though they probably will convict me, probably, I don't know. I still want, I want my jury trial. I do. And everybody knows it. He's like, Your Honor, he ain't running away. I'm not running away. I'll camp out outside the courtroom for 2 months until my jury trial right here. I ain't going nowhere. Then they'll have no contact and not come on to the courtroom property. I'm like, I'm just excited for my jury trial, just like people are excited for Star Wars. I'm camping outside. You know what I'm saying? Jesus got his crucifixion by Jerry. I'm getting my crucifixion by Jerry. Maybe. Don't you forget it. Yeah, he ain't better than me. So, especially now. Especially since he left me in a jail cell for 9 weeks straight. The rivalry's still there. We'll see who's punished more, me or Jesus, by the end of this. The inmate I just called, that he's out now. He's like, they were just punishing you to send you a message that we're in charge. He's like, there's no way you should have sat in jail that long. I'm like, I know. I'm a hated man. I'm a hated man. I'm surprised they didn't like put me on drive me to an airport, fly me on Con Air. I'm not kidding. That's how they were treating me. You know what I mean? The whole way. I'm like, because their plan was for me to be in 3 locked facilities in a row, one in a different city that I've been in before. Think about that. 3 locked facilities in a row. They wanted to bury me. You know what I'm saying? Which I already knew. But they did it more than I thought they would. They did it more than I thought they would. And I admit that. They hit hard. You know what I'm saying? They're like, mess with us, we'll mess with you. We'll bury you. Which they did till now. I could have been buried longer. I could have. If the staff at Hype Prison Psych Ward didn't fight for me. And, they fought that I wouldn't get sent to fight for me to not get committed. They fought, and I thanked them. I thanked them for fighting for me. That they knew what was going on, the agenda against me. They're like, you got committed? I'm like, I already knew I'd get committed. It's a kangaroo court. I just wanted to be sober during it, you know what I mean? Which I was. So, but I'm used to it. I've been up against the good old boys since forever. Their behavior is so predictable. That's the advantage. I'm like, okay, they're going to do this, they're going to do this. I already know that. I've been up against them. You know what I mean? I've been locked up many times. So I already know the behavior of the good old boys system, how they protect themselves, how they, set up kangaroo courts. You know what I mean? I'm smarter than I look. You know what I mean? It's so predictable. It's so wicked that I'm like, it's the same pattern. Okay, they're going to do this. They're going to send me here. All right. I'm going to be sober the whole way. You know what I mean? They're not going to force me to do that. They're not going to shove pills down my throat. Reject that. You know what I mean? They're going to try to manipulate to put pills down my throat. Nope, reject that. You know what I mean? It's constant. They're evil. So, yeah. If I wasn't sober, I'd be locked up in 3 facilities. Right now, I'd still be locked up in probably the 2nd facility if I wasn't sober. I'm like, I already know what you guys are doing. They think I haven't encountered the good old boys before. I got strangled by the good old boys. I have a scar on my neck from the good old boys from age 11, as you guys know. I have a remembrance of the ruthlessness of the good old boys from a church leader. You know what I mean? In the LDS church, which is prominent here, the good old boys is here. I got strangled by the LDS good old boys. I remember that. I have a long history with the good old boys. My parent was part of the good old boys. Both parents, actually. Even though, My mother was butch. She was male. They bullied me in my room and stuff. I'm used to being tortured by the good old boys. I know I can't beat them, even at my age. I already know what they're going to do. I'm just like, play your hand. Play your wicked hand against me. Let's see what you got. Did you build a cross in the back of the jail to nail me to? Yeah. That's what I might tell the inmates. I'm like, they're building a cross outside. Just for me. They're making a whole new law based on what I've done, litigation, to nail me to a cross in the back of the jail just for me, because they have power. They can do whatever they want. So I'll be nailed to a cross in no time, guys. So. I'm like, some of the inmates have Stockholm syndrome. I'm like, guys, they want to just walk us to the electric chair down the hallway and just kill us. That's what they want to do. Quit being friendly with, quit being so friendly with the guards. Are you guys nuts? I'm like, they've been locked up too long. I'm like, they're only keeping us alive to make money off of us, you morons. They don't care about us at all. Quit acting like they do. I'm like, man. Anyway, that's another video. So, yeah. But anyways, my videos always get diverted, but for good reason. It's mainly apology to Brandon Rex Brown. I got it wrong, and sometimes I do get it wrong. I admit that. I got the people wrong. I underestimated the will and strength of the people, the vote power. I underestimated the people. I did not think that they would vote this way. I did not. I thought they would fall under the deception and the corruption and the intimidation of the good old boys. Like, we don't want to rock the boat. We don't want to rock the boat. We'll vote for the good old boys, But no, the people had enough. I've never seen a stronger vote in all my life. Never. A statement. I saw the paper. I saw the paper. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, man. Because it looked like, especially when I'm sitting in lockup, I'm like, man, the good old boys are going to win. The good old boys are going to win again. They got it all planned out to win the election. They got it all planned out. They got me locked up as the bad guy. They got it all planned out, but the people are like, we don't care. We don't care. They're like, that man had right. He may have crossed the line, but he had right. He to stand up for himself and for Victor Perez. He had right. At least I thought so. Maybe they saw things my way, I don't know, from the streets. Like we don't blame them. We don't blame them. We're tired of the leadership as well, but we're going to vote them out. They did it the more peaceful way, the better way, than yours truly. I admit that. I didn't believe in voting. That's the thing. I stopped believing in voting. I thought it was all rigged from the June election. I'm like, this is rigged. You know what I mean? After I think it was in June or May. Something like that. The May election. There was an election in May for two positions. And the two people I voted for lost. And I'm like, this is rigged, And the guy's father's like, yeah. One of the guy's fathers that I voted for, he's like, yeah, it's hard to beat the establishment. Like, he knew it was rigged. So I'm like, So I thought all voting was rigged, you know what I mean? Because of that May election, So I'm like, there's somehow they can rig the elections, Put the dissenters in jail so they can't vote is one of their tactics. So they can't. None of us that are in prison or jail can vote during the vote time. That's one of their tactics. You like put the opposition in jail so they can't vote against us. I couldn't vote, I was in jail. Oh well. But maybe I can vote for the final round. That'd be beautiful justice, Beautiful justice. That I can still vote for the December election, But do things the right way. Do things the right way and not do intimidation like they do. You know what I mean? Not use their tactics against them. You know what I mean? Do it the right way and see. Just let the cards fall where they may. Just do a peaceful vote. Let the cards fall where they may. No intimidation. I want to do it the right way. That's what God taught me. That's what the people taught me. Do it the right way and vote. There's still hope in the voting. There's still hope. But, the last one wasn't rigged. No, trust me. Trust me. And that's what God wanted to show me. If there was ever not a rigged election, it was November's. I'm like, yep, the people spoke. And it wasn't rigged, and it was obvious. It was so obvious. I'm like, oh man, the people showed how pissed they are with the vote. It's not even funny. And more people were pissed than I thought. Yep. All across the board. We're trying to save the community, we are. From the corrupt leaderships. We are. This was the first step, Not the final step with the voting, but the first step. Yep. And we're holding them accountable. We're holding their feet to the fire. You know what I mean? So, we can intimidate with voting. We can. We're fighting for the heart of Gotham City, basically. The most wicked city in the United States. It's not a joke. Bannock County is the most wicked county in the United States, according to inmates that have served time in different states. Different states. Denver. Different states. Vegas. I've talked to them all. Wyoming. Bannock County is the most wicked county. I've only served time in Bannock County, so I can't compare it. But according to the inmates, they're like, this is the most wicked, the most evil, the most corrupt. It's incomprehensible. It is by the time, I'm like, I can't believe how wicked they're. Instead of repenting, they triple down against me. I'm like, I gave them a chance to repent for what they did to Victor and me. They didn't repent. They tripled down against me, as you saw. Sent me to a psych ward, put me in maximum security jail. They were trying to put me to another lock facility 20 miles up north in the main psych ward. You know what I mean? Instead of repenting, they tripled down against me. But God knows I can take it. I'm like, being locked up is just like a walk in the park for me. You know what I'm saying? I shouldn't say that. Don't do it again. But yeah, but God knows I'm used to being locked up. Like, keep me separate from the wicked people. I'm like, like I said, I was gonna embarrass the whole shebang. I was gonna embarrass the whole shebang psych ward. I was sober. I was gonna embarrass the whole thing, and they knew it. They'd be like, can you imagine? And that's what playing basketball, playing volleyball, in a locked facility, sober, not even crazy at all. Can you imagine humiliating the whole staff, all the doctors, all the social workers, humiliating them all, exposing all of them to their faces in front of the patients, exposing the whole con? They're toast. I've been through there before. You know what I mean? I know it's a con. You know what I mean? That's why I'm dangerous. I can see the truth of it all. You know what I mean? The evil. That's why I think twice before you send me to a locked facility to punish me. I investigate. You know what I mean? I investigate naturally, you know what I mean? Then I'll investigate again, you know. According to my investigation with the Bannock County Jail, it's not good for them. It ain't good for them. They didn't know I was investigating them. They didn't know that. You never tell them that. At least when you're there, you don't tell them that. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's, you don't tell them that. Just like, whatever, I'm serving time. But, yeah. Who are you reporting to with your investigation? Don't worry about it. I told you I don't work alone. You know what I'm saying? So, but they're starting to figure that out. I don't work alone. I may look alone sometimes, yeah. But it's deceptive. I have a team, you know what I mean? As always. I always have had a team, you know? So, that's why I make these videos, to communicate to the team. Some people out there, like, he's talking to himself. I'm like, no, I'm not. And the authorities across the board know I'm not talking to nobody in these videos. I'm communicating to actual people. Duh. Like, no, but no, we gotta control everything. We beat them. No, you didn't. My team knew I was locked up. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, they figured it out. Scary, but true. So, anyways, it's hard to beat God. It is. So, that's what our team's about. We serve God's will. Sometimes I go rogue and, you know, I don't, but ultimately God wants me back on his team, you know what I mean? So, seems like, even though he let me be punished. He let me be punished, you know what I mean? To show me I was out of line. So, as a good father would, I guess, chastening me badly. I got chastened badly. In a cell 13 with another inmate, you know, in a small jail cell. I got chastened, okay? With no idea if I'd ever get out of there. Anyways, this is for Brandon Rex Brown.